Hello viewers, today I am going to give you a presentation about prenatal screening for Down syndrome. My name is Dr. Raja Nadir Jalal. Let's start this presentation. Down syndrome or Down syndrome. It is a condition in which a person has an extra chromosome. Chromosomes carry genetic material which determines how a baby's body forms during pregnancy and how the baby's body functions as it grows in the womb and after birth. Typically, a baby is born with 46 chromosomes. However, babies with Down syndrome have an extra copy of chromosome 21. That's why this is also called trisomy 21. It is a genetic disorder. It occurs by chance at conception and is irreversible. This extra copy of chromosome 21 changes how the baby's body and brain develop, which can cause both mental and physical challenges for the baby. Down syndrome is usually associated with physical growth delays and mild to moderate intellectual disability and characteristic facial features such as flattened face, especially the bridge of the nose, almond-shaped eyes that slant up, a short neck, small ears, a protruding tongue, tiny white spots on the iris of the eye, small hands and feet, a single line across the palm of the hand, small pinky fingers that sometimes curve toward the thumb, poor muscle tone or loose joints, and these people are shorter in height as children and adults. About 1 in every 700 babies is born with Down syndrome. But Down syndrome does not run in families. The risk of Down syndrome versus maternal age. The chance of having a baby with Down syndrome increases as a woman gets older. But anyone can have a baby with Down syndrome. At 20 years, there is a probability of one baby born with Down syndrome in 1500 pregnancies. But this probability increases to more than 1 in every 50 pregnancies at the age of 45 years and over. And the risk also increases after a previously affected pregnancy. Now coming to Down's syndrome screening. Regardless of age, all pregnant women are offered screening in the UK. However, to opt for screening rests with the pregnant woman, and the decision to have the screening should be an informed one. And some women may refuse screening at all. The aim of Down syndrome screening is to identify women at a higher risk of having a baby with Down syndrome and offer them diagnostic testing. This can be done either by chorionic villus sampling if less than 13 weeks of gestation, or by amniocentesis if more than 15 weeks of gestation. However, these procedures carry a risk of miscarriage. 0.5 to 1% for amniocentesis and 1 to 2% risk of miscarriage for chorionic villus sampling. The challenge is that to identify the high risk women to justify an invasive procedure which carries a risk of miscarriage versus minimizing the risk of miscarrying a healthy baby. Now coming to prenatal screening discussion. This is done at first antenatal appointment, and it should include detailed explanations about what is Down syndrome, the fact that the screening does not give a definite diagnosis, what is the risk score and its interpretation, what is the screening pathway, and next steps if screening comes positive or negative. What are the decisions to be made at each step and what are their consequences? And what is amniocentesis and chorionic villus sampling and risks involved with them. Now, for example, if a woman found to be carrying a baby with Down syndrome, what happens next? They are offered expert counseling and support. They may be offered an option of termination of pregnancy. They may choose to continue with the affected pregnancy with support. What are the screening methods for Down syndrome? Two methods are used. First one is serum screening. The maternal blood sample can be taken between 10 weeks and 14 weeks plus 1 day of pregnancy. Second method is ultrasound screening for nuchal translucency. The ultrasound scan can be carried out between 11 weeks plus 2 days and 14 weeks plus 1 day of pregnancy. And these two methods can be used in combination, and this is called the combined test. What is the serum screen? Serum screen measures free beta human chorionic gonadotrophin or beta HCG and pregnancy associated plasma protein A. PAPPA. Beta HCG is produced by placental syncytiotrophoblasts and its levels are raised in pregnancies affected by Down syndrome. PAPPA is also released from placental syncytiotrophoblasts, but its levels are reduced in pregnancies affected by Down syndrome. Now, fetal nuchal translucency scanning or FNT. Ultrasound scan is used to measure the size of the nuchal pad at the nape of the fetal neck. It is done between 11 weeks plus 2 days and 14 weeks plus 1 day. If nuchal translucency is increased, it reflects fetal heart failure, which is typically seen in any serious anomaly of the heart and great arteries, strongly associated with a chromosomal abnormality. The greater the extent of fetal nuchal translucency, the greater the risk of abnormality. There is a 20% false positive rate of FNT if used alone. Adding nasal bone screening during the same examination may increase sensitivity and reduce the false positive results. Another screening method for Down syndrome is quadruple test. If a woman books later in pregnancy when nuchal translucency is not as accurate, or if it is not technically possible to measure it, then quadruple test can be taken. It is done between 14 weeks plus 2 days to 20 weeks of gestation. And in quadruple test, we measure free beta HCG, which I have discussed earlier, alpha fetoprotein, inhibin A, and unconjugated estriol. But this test is less accurate than the combined test. These other three serum markers used in quadruple test are alpha fetoprotein, alpha fetoprotein is released from fetal yolk sac and liver, and its levels are decreased in pregnancies affected by Down syndrome. Unconjugated estriol, it is released from placenta and fetal adrenals, and its levels are also decreased in pregnancies affected by Down syndrome. Third one is inhibin A. It is also released from placenta and is increased in pregnancies affected by Down syndrome. After these screening tests, next step is the calculation of the risk of having a baby with Down syndrome. This is calculated by using a software that takes into account following maternal factors: age, weight, family origin, gestation of the pregnancy. These factors are taken into account and the results are expressed in terms of the probability of having a Down's child. What is a positive screening? If this probability is equal or more than a nationally agreed cut-off level, which is 1 in 150 chance in England, women with a positive screening result are offered diagnostic testing by amniocentesis or chorionic villus sampling. Remember that these serum markers levels are raised in twin pregnancies. The screening in twin pregnancies poses a difficulty because of the possibility that one fetus may be affected and the other may not. And thank you for watching. This is the end of my presentation. I hope you found it helpful and enjoyed it. Thank you for watching again.